Score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
Sets up the screen to Lewis. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. Instead of the running back in New England, sometimes they like to call them the passing backs. They get them the ball in different ways, don't they?
They certainly do. Think about the ones they've had in recent vintage. You talk about Kevin Falk, Danny Woodhead, Shane Vereen. James White could have been the MVP in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for a certain quarterback that was on the field that day.
Fresh set of downs here. Throwing on first down is Brady. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Brady. He's going to sling this deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for the Pats on 3rd. 49 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
The former Bill, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
To throw is Brady. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And the ball is out. Burkhead lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. The big fella. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. again. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
First and goal here from the 9. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brady. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. And it's second down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Brady to throw on second down. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. David Harris in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a...
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. Breeze gives it up to Ingram. Oh, and now he bowls it. There goes Mark Ingram. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. A chance maybe here for them to get him. More involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Here's Brady to throw. And some room to work. And he slides to... avoid the hit. Brady gives this one to Lewis. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
On 3rd down, that's Lewis. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Back deep for the Saints is Ted Ginn. This will be fielded at the 17. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. New Orleans offense working its way back out there. As we look at them ahead to 2018 as that wound at the end of 2017 continues to heal, Charles, they're going to have Kamara, Ingram, Thomas. If they have Breeze back at quarterback, this should be an excellent squad again.
It certainly should. And frankly, if the offensive line comes back healthy and intact, that's another big win for them, especially with their 2 tackles. Teron Armstead at left tackle, Ryan Ramczyk, who was a rookie last season at right tackle. They are loaded going forward. If they could get a real playmaker at tight end, that might be the last piece. And if that happens, I'd hate to be a defensive coordinator trying to game plan for them.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Patriots take over. The Saints defense, we watch them get set to go. And for their efforts so far, they deserve a little defensive montage here.
I like that. I like how you recognize what they're doing out there and how much fun they're having, because that's indeed what's going on. Beating them to the punch just about every snap now. Swarming, swooping, taking the ball away. This is a lot of fun to watch.
Opportunistic, right?
Very much so.
They'll start things on 1st down with Dion Lewis. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
On play action, it's Brady. And he's taken down here by the Saints. A.J. Klein from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack, as Brady will lead him up 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Brady. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to New Orleans after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando, where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Ginn. And now running right through it. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back to the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Breeze now on first down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn from 17 yards out. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Now Dion Lewis to return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He go all the way back to Kurt Warner, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
He still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. This is caught. It's Cooks. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Brady now on first down. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. Now the Patriots moving quickly, hustling up to the line. Play action. Now Brady. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack, as Brady will lead them up 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Brady. Shedding the tackle. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. The final shot before half for Brady. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Saints are happy to be sitting in the locker room with a lead. The Patriots won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. All right, let's get it going. Let's roll those first half highlights. Patriots with possession halfway through one. The deep ball is on target here, and he'll end up at the 20-yard line before being tackled. Patriots now later on the drive. Hurricanes gonna make the catch, but fumble here. Saints end up picking.
Sorry, Larry. Your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. A beautiful fake. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Saints add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back. I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They try again with Lewis. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
To throw on 3rd down, Brady. And a dump off to White. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Allen on to punt as he gets this one away. Now it's Ginn. Oh, look at that. Another spin. He's still barreling through. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. The lead is theirs here in the 3rd quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible, I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, with that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on.
They run it again with Kamara. Takes this to the 45. Got a little space after that nice move. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So 3rd down, just 1 yard to go. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Ingram again, a 1st down carry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, what a move. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and it's 3rd and 5. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
It would appear Sean Payton's made the decision here. They will go for it on 4th. They'll run for it. It's Ingram. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the 1st down yardage before he's brought down. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. 2nd and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. Fights through it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Brady, he gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.